Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Rahul Gandhi's UK speeches continue to rock Indian Parliament. Both the houses of Parliament were adjourned today over uproar over Rahul's comments. The BJP is standing firm on a demand for an apology from the Gandhi scion for insulting India abroad. Senior ministers have accused Rahul of demanding foreign intervention into Indian politics. On the other hand, the Congress defended and backed Rahul Gandhi's comments. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor, for example, said that Indian democracy is a matter of international importance and Rahul just expressed his concerns over it. The Congress also claimed, as they have in the past, that before 2014, even Prime Minister Narendra Modi has attacked UPA government overseas, and they termed the protest by the BJP over Rahul Gandhi's comments a diversionary tactic to take away attention from the demand for a JPC in Adani Hindenburg report case. It's another matter that even the opposition is actually not on the same page as far as this JPC demand is concerned. Now, Rahul Gandhi's aide, Sam Pitroda, came to the former's defense today, alleging that lies are being propagated about his speech and that Rahul never asked for foreign intervention. But is that defense really holding up when Rahul's speech is actually on camera? We've all heard it. Has the damage already been done for the Congress party? Should the Congress continue to dig in its heels? Or should Rahul Gandhi apologize for internationalizing Indian democracy? We'll take those questions to our guests in just a bit. But first up, Sam Pitroda tried to defend Rahul and his statements. Let's just juxtaposition both and you can make a judgment for yourself whether Rahul is guilty of asking for foreign intervention or not. So Rahul Gandhi had said that a huge chunk of democracy, that is India, has come undone. This in itself is a big charge because he means to say that India is no longer a democracy. Sam Pitroda says that there needs to be a need to understand and not misunderstand what Rahul has said. Now, categorically speaking, Rahul Gandhi had said that US and EU are not doing enough to restore democracy in India. Now, this is the statement that is seen as the one that got him in trouble. But Pitroda says that Rahul never invited any foreign countries to help. Now, that's the bone of contention. Rahul Gandhi also said defenders of democracy like US and EU are oblivious to what's happening in India. He's also added that we know why they're not doing anything because there are concerns of trade and investments involved. Pitroda says that there are some people who are promoting lies and attacking Rahul Gandhi. Now, does his charge stand? We'll debate that in just a bit. But Sam Pitroda himself is not new to controversies and statements that have landed the Congress party in a soup in the past. In fact, in the run-up to 2019 general elections, he said, for example, that Pulwama-type attacks happen all the time. Soon after that, he had also questioned the Balakot airstrikes, asking, did India really attack and kill 300 people? In May 2019, he had come under a lot of criticism for saying that the 1984 anti-Sikh riots, hua to hua, as if it doesn't really matter, it happened, so it happened. That was a statement that did not go down well for the Congress party. He had to later apologize as well. So the big question we're asking today, with a lot of these defenses coming in for Rahul Gandhi from the Congress party, even from Sam Pitroda, the question is, has Rahul Gandhi truly crossed the line and should he apologize as the BJP is demanding? Before we go across to our debate, let's also mention how Union Minister Hardeep Puri has commented on this entire democracy debate. That conversation exclusively with him is coming up a little bit later in the show.
The surprising thing is that the so-called defenders of democracy, which are the United States, European countries, seem to just be oblivious.
माननीय सदस्य देश के बाहर जाके एक अपने पार्लियामेंट के बारे में ऐसे उल्टे सीधे बयान करे, इस बात की निंदा भी करनी पड़ेगी और उन्होंने यहाँ पे आके माफी मांगनी पड़ेगी.
Nobody gives Rahul Gandhi the right to tarnish the image of India, spread lies about India, and spoil the image of the Parliament. He should come back and apologize.
I don't believe that Rahul Gandhi has said anything that requires an apology. In every one of them, he consistently expressed concern, and at the same time, he also said, this is our problem, we will deal with it, but you need to be aware of it.
सरकार खुद नहीं चलाना चाहते हैं हाउस. कल ऐसा नजारा कभी देखे हैं कि सरकार के मंत्री गण, सरकार के सारे MP गण, सब मतलब सदन को ठप करने के लिए इस तरीके से हंगामा किए हैं।
Let's open this up to the guests joining us. Charu Pragya from the BJP, Sujata Paul from the Congress Party, Ratan Sharda, RSS researcher and author also on the show, and senior journalist Neerja Chaudhary is also joining us. Let me go across to Sujata Paul first up. Sujata, you know, a lot of people are feeling that the Congress Party is defending the indefensible here. Rahul Gandhi's speech is on record, it is on camera, it has a certain impact. Then let's say if you are quoted, and then you can even argue that you were misquoted or people didn't understand what you were saying. But we've heard the entire interaction he gave in UK, and what is the defense? That he wasn't asking foreign powers to intervene. In fact, he did say we know why they're not doing anything.
First of all, Rahul Gandhi did not say that. And secondly, the government is only trying to do the indefensible. That is, it is trying to stall the parliament because it does not want to say the A of Adani, C of China, and in between the C of corruption or the B of Bhrashtachar. The point is that if the government cannot run the house, and especially the budget session, what do you expect from this government? This government has proved that Rahul Gandhi has rattled them so much that they don't have any answers to the questions that he has raised. Of course, democracy is at stake. And I don't need to go into all those statements that the Prime Minister has made in the past where he has insulted the country.
No,
and he should apologize.
Fair enough. We have discussed that. Of course, the Prime Minister has criticized UPA era. Or, for example, when Congress was in power, lack of development during those times, that's a political attack. But he has not asked for any countries to intervene in Indian business. You are saying Rahul Gandhi did not say that. What is it that you're saying he did not say? I ran a bite of his. I can run that full chunk. He did say
yes, you can run the whole
that defenders of democracy are not doing enough to restate democracy in India.
Yes, you can run the entire show that happened there.
Yes.
The Prime Minister and his cronies are rattled that they have to go abroad and organize mega events and send their own people over there before you have an event hailing Modi. But when you have Rahul Gandhi, when you have Rahul Gandhi being invited by the UK Parliament, that has to rattle him. He's just an opposition leader.
No, but that's not the issue here. Sujata, let me rephrase what I'm asking. One second. That's not the issue here. He goes overseas earlier. He's welcome to go overseas. Obviously, nobody's pointing that out. In fact, I firmly believe he's welcome to criticize even things about India or Indian politics overseas. The particular issue is asking foreign powers or other countries to intervene in Indian business. You are saying he didn't say that, but he did say that.
No, I'm sorry, he did not. If he's being asked a question, then he will answer it the way he wants to.
Yeah, and he chose to answer it in a manner where he said that US and European nations are not doing enough about restoring democracy in India. What are they supposed to do?
Yeah, you can interpret it or misinterpret it the way you want to. But if anybody questions us on how we react to a certain situation like the Russia-Ukraine war, then we have every right to ask them, what are you doing when things are happening in my country? Do you react? Why do you expect me to react? But nobody's asking them to intervene in our affairs.
You've just one second. You've taken it a step further now. No, one second.
No,
India. One second. Sujata, 1 second. I don't want to speak over you.
You will not.
No, 1 second.
No, you will let me complete.
I'll let you complete. But I'm just drawing your attention to what you have just said. You have compared to what Rahul Gandhi has said about EU and US not intervening in India to questions over India about Russia, Ukraine. First of all, no one expects India to intervene in Ukraine. There were questions over India's relationship with Russia and nothing else. And India has denied that it is going to behave in any partisan manner, but that's a separate matter. How does that compare to Indian democracy? The question of Indian democracy. We are not at war.
When you are questioning Rahul Gandhi today, it just proves that whatever Rahul Gandhi says matters to India.
Of course it matters to India. He's talking about India overseas.
I'm glad that you are saying that. Of course, because his stature as a leader of this country is well recognized, and that
But
is
how
the
is he
reason why
using that
Rahul
stature
Gandhi
is
is
the
attacked.
question. Okay.
I want to
Should
understand
a
why
person
is the
of a stature,
parliament
once
getting
again,
stalled?
Sujata, should a
Why don't
person
we have
of
a
the
JPC?
stature of Rahul Gandhi, multiple time parliamentarian, current sitting parliamentarian, should go overseas and say there is no democracy in India and other
Of
so-called
course.
defenders of democracy are not doing anything? Should he do that?
Of course.
Does that behoove a parliamentarian of his stature?
Of course. If he is talking about
Wow.
about democracy at stake in the country, there's nothing wrong about it.
No, not
And
the
it was
fact that
Arun
democracy
Jaitley.
is at
Hang on.
stake.
was
It is
Arun
the
Jaitley
fact
who-
about EU
If
and
you- if
EU
you
and US
listen-
not doing enough to quote restore
not
democracy.
listening.
I listened to you, Sujata. I've given you 5 minutes.
No.
But let me. I have to go across. No, I have limited time. I have to go across to Charu Pragya now. Sujata, I'll try and come back to you. Please, let's not go back to 2015. No, one second. Charu Pragya, one second. Sujata, please don't speak over me. Charu Pragya, the Congress party, one says you have done this in the past, in the sense the Prime Minister has also gone overseas and brought in domestic politics overseas. And secondly, nothing that Rahul Gandhi has said is so problematic. He has expressed his concerns. Why is the BJP up in arms and demanding an apology? And for that, you are using tactics that you have not condoned in the past, which is stalling parliamentary proceedings.
Good evening, Shivani. See, I think what Sujata is trying to do today is indefensible, and I don't know if she really believes in this or this is the job required of her, and that's why she needs to make all these illogical arguments right now. First of all, what Rahul Gandhi has said is on camera. This is not something that I have said, BJP has said, the Honorable Prime Minister has said, or CNN News 18 has said. Rahul Gandhi has said this, it is on camera, and I don't know why these Congress leaders cannot understand the fact that what is visible to the world cannot be defended like this. How are you going abroad and asking for intervention in Indian domestic matters? We are a sovereign nation, and if you cannot handle the opposition politics, maybe you should take retirement from politics altogether. Sujata is comparing the situation between Russia and Ukraine to the situation in India. Sujata, please tell me, who's the Russia here, who's the Ukraine, which country is at war? Because India is India, and then I want to know which country is the
what people say.
Okay, let her
Which
respond now.
country
Let her
is
respond.
representing?
Charu, let her respond. Let her respond. Not at the same
No,
time,
can
please.
I-
No, but you won't
No,
be
can
able
I
to
finish?
be heard
Can
both
I
if
finish
both of you talk at
speaking?
the same time.
Also,
Okay, you finish.
He's a serial offender, Shivani. This is not the first time he's gone abroad and dragged the name of India through mud.
No, but
Whether
this
it
is the
him
first time
or
that you
the
can
other
accuse
leaders
Rahul Gandhi
supported by
of
him.
asking of any foreign intervention. He has not done in the past. And yes, he has criticized the BJP and the Indian government and Indian institutions overseas. That's not quite the same matter as the intervention we are dealing with.
See, every time the name of India has been dragged through mud, we have understood that it is either the Congress or other leaders of the Congress party who are behind it. This has happened too many times to name. How many leaders, how many times have spoken against India, whether it is a Shashi Tharoor, whether it is a Harishankar Iyer. So the fact of the matter is that whenever there is a question of choosing a side, Congress is on the side that is anti-India, and that is all that there is to it. Asking for foreign intervention when the world is fighting for sovereignty is rich, and then sitting here on national television and defending it is the worst thing that I can imagine.
Neeta Chowdhury.
I heard Mr. Tharoor. He's pretending that they're all deaf. They couldn't even hear the statement.
Well, the public will decide for it. Neeta Chowdhury, I want to focus particularly on the foreign intervention part, because I think one can make an argument that you can go overseas and even criticize your own country. That falls within your freedom of speech. But of course, as a parliamentarian especially, to ask for, let's say, any other country to intervene in your domestic matters is a completely different ballgame. Do you believe that Rahul Gandhi essentially got that messaging wrong and it's really hurting the Congress party?
Yes, I believe that Rahul Gandhi got that wrong, even though I absolutely agree with you that he has the right to criticize in government of India, even India. I can go to Cambridge and say the caste system in India is terrible. We need to do something about it. It will be perfectly in order. If I have that right to say that in India, I have a right to say it abroad. But on the foreign intervention, what he said was, and it was to the journalists, Indian journalists, that the European countries and the US were oblivious, that's the word he used, of what was going on and silent when democracy in India was undone. Undone was the question, was the word he used. So you can say, if you want to be charitable, that he was not asking them to intervene in India, even as a rhetorical question. I think it's very problematic for an Indian for any Indian leader. Any leader of a confident country to make that proposition. Afterwards, at Chatham House, he corrected himself and made things very clear that we will deal with our problem, because he realized there was a outcry against what he had said. Now, I think that was, as you asked, it was a problematic formulation.
What's the way out?
Has embarrassed the Congress party. So it is, what it's done, which is unfortunate. It has made Rahul Gandhi the issue, not the issues that he was trying to raise. That is the unfortunate part of it also. Now, should he make an apology? You apologize when you really feel, I've done something wrong. I have overreached. I've hurt somebody. I've hurt interests of the country. But he doesn't. He thinks he's what he said should be raised. So I think this is not a question of apology. Politically, it's made it into an issue of Narendra Modi versus Rahul Gandhi again. Whereas the most important thing for the opposition in the 2024 battle is getting the opposition united as far as possible. Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi suits the BJP to the hilt.
Ratan Sharda, my question was going to be exactly that. Of course, Neerja is saying that this is a question politically of what it can do to the equation ahead of 2024 elections, and it has put the Congress party's messaging wrong. Many believe that it has actually undone some of the benefits that the Congress may have earned because of Rahul Gandhi helming the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He's hurt his own benefits that he accrued by making some of these statements, including the one that there is no democracy in India, the fact that EU and US are not doing enough to restore democracy in India, and we know why they're not doing it. And then, of course, the attack on institutions, Indian judiciary, and all institutions are basically not working properly, and they're not serving their interest to the Indian citizens. All of that, do you think, is going to eventually hurt the Congress party, then help it in its battle against the BJP in 2024?
Shivani, Rahul Gandhi spent nearly 3 months, I think, on the road, and very well done. And he talked all along about love, about there being no disturbance in India, people living happily. And then he goes outside and messes up everything. He's a sore loser, he has told people. His party has won a few elections, lost many. But having won a few elections, how does he put doubt on election commission? How does he put doubt on the judiciary? This is my problem. My problem is not telling people about, what they are doing about democracy. My problem is that raising doubts about our democracy, which is running fine, raising doubts about our institutions, which reflects very poorly on India. Already there are people, Soros gang and Omidyar gangs, which are trying to put India down in hunger index, in freedom of democracy index, which are nothing but made up stupid indexes, which has no base. But these people keep on quoting that. And coming to another important issue, when these Congress people say that why no Adani, nothing, when an Hindenburg short seller stock player puts up a report, that needs a JPC. But when an international body like FATF puts up a report about Priyanka Gandhi's paintings and the stuff of all those kind, will it not require JPC? So the leaders of the Congress don't realize there is one report which is totally by an independent body which is fighting money laundering. Other report is by short seller who made heaps of money out of it. Thirdly, when they say Adani ko duniya mein sab jagah bitha diya, tell me which other company in the world in India has skills to create that diamond necklace vis-a-vis the necklace of pearls of China to counter Chinese influence. Are we going to talk all these things about in the open and destroy strategic schemes of India? Do you think that any other Indian industrialist had the skills to manage such huge ports across the world? And rather than lauding this, diamond necklace protection against the Chinese, we are making a joke of it. We are crying about it.
That's a slightly different issue as far as industrialists are concerned.
Where is the loss? LIC bought the shares at the bottom price. They have benefited out of it. These people claim they have had a loss. And for 0.9% shareholding, they are claiming that everybody should go on board and create a JPC.
Okay, but I'm not getting into the Adani issue per se, but yes, that is the demand that many opposition leaders are making, that there should be a JPC on it. But I cannot quite go into that issue because I don't have enough time. I'll give 30 seconds each to our political panelists one more time. Sujata, I'll give you 30 seconds. Even your well-wishers feel that statements like these do not help the Congress party. That sometimes Rahul Gandhi is on a tangent that hurts you than helps you.
Absolutely not. When you raise the issues should be targeted. But here, like Ms. Neerja just mentioned, that it is Rahul Gandhi that has to be made an issue about because that benefits the Bharatiya Janata Party by maligning him and derogating him. But there is a time period for everything. I remember Charu Pragya was on a show with me on your channel only, where at the beginning of the Bharat Jodo Yatra, where she was talking about, after 4 days, he will be going abroad. He will not be able to complete the Yatra. So today when she's speaking here, I do understand where she's coming from. But the fact is that maybe at a particular time, the issues were being suppressed. But now people understand that because people are also feeling
people
the
will
pressure
ultimately
of
be the
those
judge
being,
of what Rahul Gandhi
controlled.
has said. Charu Pragya,
Absolutely.
30 seconds only, please. Final comments. Are you also sticking to this apology demand, which is a little frivolous? It's not going to come, we all know. At least let Parliament function.
See, it's not going to come, that is for sure, because when has an apology come from the Congress party for dragging Indians or Indian institutions down? This has been the norm for them. It has continued for as long as I can remember. That is sad. If Sujata thinks that completing this yatra is applaudable, well done, congratulations.
Yes,
but this
and
does not mean
the
anything
passport
politically.
is
Because at the end of the day, as
One by one,
said,
please.
what is important for you is to focus on your politics. Also understand that while you're doing that, you cannot.
That is the bottom line of it. Democracy is under attack.
Do you understand?
That is what has to be remembered.
Whether democracy is under attack in India or not like this. Sujata, not like this. You were given time to speak. Please don't interrupt over anybody else. But I've run out of time. I think I get Charu Pragya's central point. Bharat Jodo Yatra's benefits aside, whether democracy is under attack in India aside, the fundamental question is, will people in India like if you go to foreign powers, including our former colonial masters, and ask for intervention? I leave it at that. Let the public be the judge of this. Thanks a lot for all of our guests for joining us. Earlier today, I also interacted with